The brightest flames cast the darkest shadows, not to be feared, but to remind you of your power, chosen one. They have felt the sting of judgment when they dared to rise above the crowd, the whispers that tried to dim their light when they stood firm in their truth. You know that tension in your chest when others question your calm, when your silence shakes their world more than any shout could. It may seem as if the universe itself conspires to test your resolve, to see if you will waver under pressure. But take heart, because those hidden trials have been preparing you for this very moment. The truths that were buried in doubt are now surfacing, and what you learn here will become the weapon you wield to reclaim your destiny. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. They will never see you coming when you move in stillness. So stay with me until the end to uncover the secrets that will cement your unshakable reign. Standing unbothered amid chaos, they feel the pulse of the world quicken around them, chaos reaching out like a whirlwind eager to snatch their peace away. In the hush of their own heart, they sense that rising storm, heated arguments, sudden betrayals, the relentless chatter of fear drilling at their confidence. You know that tension, the tight knot in your chest as you watch tempers flare or rumors swirl, wondering when your calm will finally be broken. Yet here you stand, breathing in slow, steady rhythms as the world screams for your reaction. You are not alone in this space of stillness. There is a hidden strength in remaining unmoved. This moment matters because it reveals a deeper truth, that within the eye of the storm lies a throne of power reserved only for those who master the art of unshakable peace. Something extraordinary is about to be unveiled. Secrets that will teach you not just to survive chaos, but to turn it into fuel for your own rise. Behind the curtain of their serenity lies a battleground of doubts and fears, each one a weapon snarling for their attention. They have known the frustration of seeing unfair attacks land when they were least prepared, or the sting of watching others lash out while they held their tongue. Perhaps you remember the cold sweat in your palms before a critical conversation, or the moment you swallowed back tears when gossip threatened to steal your dignity. Those experiences weigh heavy, like anchors holding you in place while the world demands you sink or swim. This theme touches the core of their journey, because maintaining calm is not merely a tactic. It is a lifeline that connects them to purpose. In every second of self-control, they reclaim a piece of themselves in the chaos that would seek to consume them, proving that the real war is not in words but in the conviction of a still heart. But what if these struggles were never random trials but steps in divine choreography? Consider the lesser-known moment in 2 Chronicles 20, when King Jehoshaphat faced a vast army and, lacking swords, sent out singers before the battle. As they praised, "Give thanks to the Lord, for his love endures forever." Confusion fell upon their enemies, and the invaders turned on each other. 2 Chronicles 20 verses 21 to 22. In that turning point, calm worship became a weapon more potent than any blade. Their resistance under pressure was not silence born of fear, but strategic stance guided by faith. Like Jehoshaphat's army, they too can summon inner songs of peace that scatter the forces arrayed against them. Their calm is not passive but purposeful, a divine signal to the universe that they will not be moved. Now, even in the midst of turmoil, subtle shifts begin to whisper of a new reality taking shape. They notice how a gentle pause before speaking diffuses a heated debate, or how a steady gaze can unnerve someone bent on provocation. Perhaps a tense meeting ends in unexpected resolution, simply because they refuse to rise to the bait. In everyday life, these are like the first buds of spring peeking through frost-hardened soil, signs that a season of peace is blooming beneath the surface. Opportunities that once seemed blocked now flow with ease, as if someone quietly unlocked every barrier. Even their own thoughts feel lighter, as tension uncoils in their mind and clarity settles in like a cool breeze at dawn. This alignment is not luck. It is a divine timing at work, orchestrating every detail to reward their unwavering calm with breakthroughs that cannot be denied. Behind those moments of breakthrough, unseen hands move with precision to clear their path. They do not stumble forward by grit alone. They are guided by spiritual alignments that transform struggle into stepping stones. A chance encounter with a mentor might arrive at the exact moment a solution is needed, or a sudden insight in prayer illuminates a path previously hidden in darkness. These synchronicities are not mere coincidences, but deliberate interventions, a reminder that their trials were never designed simply to test endurance, but to prepare them for elevation. Faith and manifestation converge here, each confirming the other's reality. The same forces that whispered guidance to ancient prophets now breathe direction into their own journey, reinforcing the truth that their calling is both real and irrevocable. Yet recognizing these patterns from afar is only part of the journey. They must now decide to anchor themselves in this calm, to embody it fully rather than merely admire it. Far too many shrink back when faced with the responsibility of their own peace, fearful that stepping into such power will expose them to greater challenges. You might hesitate, asking if you can sustain this level of composure, or worry that opening the door to divine backing will demand more than you can give. But this is a sacred threshold where hesitance must give way to wholehearted acceptance. Just as a vessel must be emptied before it can be refilled with fresh wine, so must you release doubt before receiving the full measure of this gift. This moment is yours to claim. Will you hold on to the shoreline of comfort, or will you dive into the river of divine stillness? Now that they see the signs and feel the alignment, it is time to activate their inner strength and step into this new reality. They can begin each day with a solemn vow to respond with peace rather than reaction, to pause and breathe when chaos beckons. They can cultivate rituals that honor their commitment, moments of silent gratitude at dawn, journal entries naming every subtle victory of calm, or simple prayers that reaffirm their trust in unseen support. Surrounding themselves with others who champion serenity will amplify their resolve, creating a circle of tranquility that deflects the turbulence of the outer world. And when the next crisis arrives, they will meet it not with fear, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows the storm cannot unsettle a rooted soul. This is the moment to claim the throne of unshakable peace, to prove that true power lies not in the volume of one's voice, but in the stillness of one's spirit. Their calm is the echo of ancient promises and the herald of a destiny that refuses to be derailed. When the world expects them to break, they will break the mold instead, showing others what it means to stand tall while the ground trembles beneath. Their victory will be the unspoken awe in the eyes of those around them, the realization that real strength wears a face of serenity. Their peace will be a proclamation heard in every corner of their life, announcing their rise. Comment calm if this resonates with you. A special thanks to our current members who stand as living proof of transformation through stillness. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Mental and emotional warfare. They feel the weight of invisible arrows striking at the softest parts of their mind, the unwelcome whispers of doubt that coil around their confidence like a serpent ready to strike. You know the sensation. Sitting at your desk, trying to focus, yet a persistent thought creeps in that you are inadequate, unworthy of the dream stirring within you. Perhaps you lie awake at night, replaying conversations where criticism cut deeper than any blade, or wake with a knot in your throat from the sting of another betrayal. These moments of mental intrusion leave you drained, as though a dark fog has settled over your clarity. Yet in this very space of vulnerability, there is a turning point waiting to be discovered. Recognizing that these assaults are not signs of failure, but signals of something far greater, is the first step toward mastering the battlefield within. They have felt the isolation that comes when the mind becomes a war zone, where insecurity and envy wage campaigns against their peace. You may recall feeling abandoned when a friend's praise turned to skepticism, or sensing the undercurrent of jealousy in a colleague's tone at a moment when you dare to shine. Those experiences cut to the core because they tap into the primal fear of rejection, leaving you second-guessing every step. You watch headlines of others succeeding and wonder why your own progress feels stalled, as if some unseen force is placing roadblocks in your path. In times like these, the emotional weight can become suffocating, convincing you that your destiny is slipping away. Yet the very intensity of the struggle also signals that you are on the brink of profound breakthrough, because the hardest fights prepare you for the greatest victories. What if every mental attack you've endured was woven into a divine curriculum, each struggle a lesson designed to sharpen your spiritual senses? In the quieter passages of 2 Corinthians, Paul writes, "For though we live in a world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. They have divine power to demolish strongholds," 2 Corinthians 10 verses 3-4. Here is a turning point. Mental and emotional warfare is not merely human conflict, but a spiritual contest where they are invited to wield weapons of faith, truth, and discipline rather than mere willpower. This shift in perspective transforms every doubting thought into an opportunity to stand guard at the gates of the mind, to demolish the strongholds of fear and replace them with firm foundations of divine promise. Even now, signs of transformation are stirring within and around them, subtle yet unmistakable. They notice how a negative thought flashes by and then fades more swiftly than before, no longer able to cling to their consciousness. A creative insight emerges not in fits and starts, but with the quiet certainty of a sunbeam breaking through clouds. Conversations that once left them anxious now pass with an unexpected calm, as though their mind has learned to intercept the arrows of anxiety before they land. In daily life, they find themselves choosing responses rooted in peace rather than reacting from a place of wounded pride. These shifts are like a river carving a new channel through rock, slow, steady, and unstoppable once the water finds its course. It is the unmistakable sign that divine timing is aligning every aspect of their inner world for breakthroughs they so desperately seek. Behind the scenes, unseen forces are marshaling to their aid, orchestrating moments of deliverance that feel like gentle miracles. They may experience sudden clarity in prayer when a piece of stubborn doubt dissolves, or receive an unexpected word of encouragement that arrives just when their spirit teeters on the edge of despair. Perhaps an idea they quietly held in their heart manifests in reality, without clear explanation. These synchronicities are not random, but strands in a tapestry woven by a higher power, reminding them that their struggles were never intended to break them, but to prepare them for elevation. Every answered prayer, every chance encounter, every deja vu moment is a marker of spiritual alignment, reinforcing connection between their faith and the unfolding of their purpose. Yet knowing that divine forces are at work is only half the victory. They must now choose to embody the transformation unfolding within. Many recoil at the idea of fully accepting this change, fearful that embracing divine power will demand more of them than they can give. You might hesitate at the threshold of newfound peace, concerned that stepping into this strength will expose you to deeper trials or demand sacrifices you are not ready to make. But this is a sacred moment of self-realization. True alignment requires more than witnessing miracles. It demands wholehearted participation. Like a seed that must surrender to darkness before it sprouts, they must let go of outdated beliefs and fears to fully embrace their calling. Will they stand on the edge of destiny, or will they step forward into fullness of their power? Now that they recognize the signs and feel the threads of divine alignment weaving through every challenge, it is time to step boldly into their new reality. They can begin each day by declaring, "I guard my mind with the armor of faith," and follow it with a practice of meditation or prayer to fortify their thoughts. They can journal the moment each intrusive fear arises, then write a scriptural truth or affirmation that dismantles it, transforming every assault into an opportunity for spiritual growth. Surrounding themselves with voices of wisdom, books, mentors, or communities attuned to mental discipline will create a support network that echoes their commitment. With each intentional act of guarding their mind, they reaffirm the divine mandate placed upon them, activating the weapons of truth, righteousness, and peace in every arena of life. Remember this truth as you step forward. The battlefield of the mind is not a place of defeat, but the arena where the champions of faith are forged. Every thought you master, every fear you dismantle, equips you to walk in unshakable confidence. You are not merely surviving the war within. You are destined to triumph, becoming a beacon of mental resilience that shines through every shadow. Claim this victory now, for you are more than a warrior of flesh and blood. You wield divine power over every stronghold that dares to rise against you. Comment warrior if this resonates with you. And to every soul who supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters, your belief matters, and your light is felt here. Guardianship by cosmic forces. They know what it feels like to walk through life believing they're on their own. Every step a test of will with no ally in sight. In those moments, anxiety coils in their chest, and they wonder if a single voice hears their silent cries. You, too, may lie awake at night, heart racing as shadows flicker across your walls. You may question whether anyone or anything stands guard over your journey. Yet these feelings, intense as they are, hint at a deeper reality. You were never meant to walk alone. There is a tapestry of unseen forces woven around you, ready to guide and protect. What you're about to discover will shatter the illusion of solitude and reveal the cosmic companionship available to you, reminding you that every step you take is watched over by powers far greater than human eyes can perceive. They have felt the sting of betrayal or the cold shoulder of indifference, experiences that whisper lies about their worth and safety. Perhaps a trusted friend turned away at the moment they needed support most, or a sudden upheaval left them stranded without a plan. Those moments echo in their memory like distant thunder, making them cautious to reach out for help again. You may recall the humiliation of speaking up only to be met with blank stares, or the fear that you're invisible on purpose. Such trials cut deep, reinforcing the idea that protection is scarce and support even scarcer. Yet those very wounds are signposts pointing toward a promise of guardianship, an invitation to believe in an invisible shield that has been present long before you noticed it. What if each trial you've endured was part of divine rehearsal, training you to recognize a moment when celestial backup will become undeniable? In the book of Zechariah, there's a verse few recall. "And I will be to her a wall of fire all around, declares the Lord, and I will be the glory in her midst." Zechariah 2 verse 5. This lesser-known promise speaks directly to their deepest fears, assuring them that what feels like isolation is really a circle of protection blazing with divine presence. Their solitude was never neglect, but a strategic clearing of space for this fiery barrier to form, a barrier designed to ward off every shadow that dares to approach their destiny. In that revelation, every past abandonment transforms into proof of intentional preparation for a higher calling. Now, even as they look around, subtle shifts begin to whisper of this hidden guardianship. They might notice that danger seems to pass just beyond reach, as if an unseen hand gently nudged them aside. A near accident never happens, or a rumor fails to spread when they're not in the room. You might reflect on the times when a gut instinct saved you from harm, pulling you away from a wrong turn or guiding you to a safer path. In daily routine, small synchronicities emerge, a helpful stranger arriving at the perfect moment, a sudden clarity in prayer, or a dream that equips you with insight for challenges ahead. These are not random occurrences, but markers of divine alignment at work, guiding every step toward your purpose. Behind the curtain, higher forces are orchestrating your life with precision and care. They're arranging encounters that propel you forward, closing doors that would lead you astray, and weaving together the right people to support your mission. These interventions are not tests of endurance, meant to see how much you can bear, but strategic setups for elevation, preparing you to stand in places of influence without the fear of being overwhelmed. Faith and manifestation unite here as partners. Your belief shapes the field, and the field responds with tangible evidence of protection. When you acknowledge this connection, every whispered prayer becomes a summons for divine agents to step into your reality and solidify the path before you. Yet knowing about these cosmic signals is only half the journey. They now must choose to fully accept and embody this truth. Many resist such ideas, afraid that surrendering to divine protection will demand submission to forces beyond their control. You might worry that acknowledging this guardianship means relinquishing your autonomy, or fear the unknown consequences of inviting celestial beings to walk alongside you. But this is a sacred moment where faith meets action. True alignment requires more than intellectual assent. It demands wholehearted embrace. Like the seed that must open itself to the earth before it can sprout, you must open your heart to receive the support. Only then will the full measure of cosmic guardianship reveal itself in your life. Now that they recognize these signs and feel the stirrings of celestial alliance, they are called to step boldly into this new reality. They can begin each morning by affirming, out loud or in thought, "I am watched over by divine guardians." They can practice moments of stillness during the day, pausing to sense the unseen protection surrounding them, and journal instances of uncanny safety or guidance. Surrounding themselves with reminders of this truth, symbolic artifacts, scripture passages, or the companionship of like-minded souls will strengthen their awareness. Every intentional act of acknowledgement will deepen their bond with these forces, transforming every ordinary path into a corridor of divine design. Remember this as you move forward. You walk not through empty halls, but under the watchful eyes of cosmic allies who forge a path of safety and opportunity before you. Your journey is not a solo mission, but a collective endeavor of heaven's finest guardians, each assigned to intercept harm and guide you toward your highest calling. Claim this alliance now, for it is your birthright. Let your confidence rise as you realize that every step taken in faith echoes to the realms of both earth and sky, drawing ever closer to the full arrival of your destiny. Comment Guardian if this resonates with you. Detachment as a weapon. They know the exhaustion of being pulled into every argument, the way conflict clings like static to their nerves, until even a quiet moment feels electric. You may have felt that tightness in your chest when someone's anger flares and you're expected to fight back, or the ache in your soul when gossip surrounds you like a storm cloud you didn't summon. In those moments, you wonder if you'll ever find peace, if you'll always be at the mercy of other people's drama. But you are not alone in this struggle. There is a hidden strength in stepping away, in refusing to be bait for the chaos around you. What you're about to discover will show you how detachment is not abandonment, but a strategic stand, a revelation that will empower you to rise above every petty feud and reclaim your calm as a weapon. They have felt the sting of hurt when they invested in relationships that only demanded more of their emotional bandwidth, leaving them drained and vulnerable. You might recall the heartbreak of reaching out in kindness only to be met with criticism or manipulation, the disappointment of trusting someone who used your generosity as an excuse to impose their pain on you. Those experiences cut deep because they challenge the very idea of connection and purpose. You wrestle with questions of whether love requires suffering, whether loyalty demands self-sacrifice to the point of emptiness. In that crucible of confusion and rejection, the weight of purpose seems to shift beneath your feet, threatening to send you into freefall. Yet within that weight lies the invitation to discover a new approach, one where boundaries become shields and emotional reserves fuel your resilience. What if every painful attachment you've endured was an intentional step in a divine process, designed to teach you the power of sacred distance? In Isaiah 30 verse 15, we find a voice echoing through the ages. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. At first glance, that seems to speak of inner peace, but also reveals a principle of strategic withdrawal. There comes a time to repent of old habits that entangle you, to rest from the endless battles of the heart, and to trust that stepping back can yield a more profound forward movement. Their isolation from toxic dynamics is not punishment, but preparation for a more focused, potent form of engagement. This turning point reframes attachment as a spiritual practice rather than a coping mechanism. Even now, signs of transformation are emerging in their life like new shoots pushing through hardened earth. They notice that when conflict arises, their first instinct is no longer to react but to breathe and observe, creating a space where clarity can flourish. Conversations that once spiraled into chaos now pass with calm nods or graceful exits, leaving their composure intact. Opportunities that used to slip through their fingers now materialize when they refuse to be drawn into side dramas, as if the universe rewards their clarity with synchronicities. In daily moments, holding a cool cup of tea, watching the sunset in silence, they feel a quietness settling over their spirit, a mirror reflecting the stillness within. These shifts are proof that divine timing is weaving every thread of their restraint into a tapestry of empowerment. Behind the scenes, unseen forces are honoring their choice to step away from conflict, opening doors that remain closed to those still entangled in emotional warfare. They may find that a toxic friendship simply drifts apart without rancor, or that a long-standing tension resolves itself the moment they refuse to engage. A new ally might enter their life exactly when they stop chasing validation, or a fleeting thought of doubt dissolves under the weight of newfound confidence. These synchronicities are not accidents, but divine interventions demonstrating that their detachment is a signal to the cosmos. They are ready for elevation. Faith and manifestation entwine here, each decision to hold back echoing outward to realign circumstances in their favor. Their calling grows clearer as the world reshapes around their unshakable boundary. Yet awareness of these interventions means little if they do not fully accept the role of detachment in their growth. Many hesitate at the thought of distancing themselves, fearing they will appear cold or unloving, worried that they will forfeit connection for the illusion of strength. They cling to the hope that confrontation alone will heal wounds, unaware that some battles are best fought with silence. But this is a sacred moment of deepening awareness, recognizing that true alignment demands embracing the stillness even when the world demands noise. Only by making peace with the unknown, including the possibility of losing certain relationships, can they step into the full measure of their power. This choice is not rejection, but a baptism into a higher calling, where detachment becomes the foundation of their influence. Now that they see the signs and sense the alignment of forces around their resolve, it is time to embody this truth with confidence. They can begin each day by affirming, "I am more than my reactions," and follow a moment of quiet reflection to center their mind. They can set gentle boundaries in conversations, speaking only when words serve their purpose, and learn to view invitations to drama as invitations to strength. Incorporating small rituals, like a brief walk in solitude, journaling the emotions they release, or meditating on trusting the process, will fortify their commitment. They can seek out kindred spirits who respect their space, creating a circle where detachment is honored as a sacred art. These steps will transform detachment from a defense mechanism into a deliberate strategy for living in power and peace. Remember this truth as you step forward. Detachment is not abandoning your humanity, but elevating your purpose. Your calm is a blade sharper than any conflict. Your boundary is a shield that protects your destiny. In every moment you choose stillness over reaction, you reclaim the energy that belongs to your mission. Your invulnerability to drama becomes a testament to your sovereignty, a living proof that you were born to stand apart and rise above. Let detachment be your chosen weapon in this season, carving a path to your highest calling with every silent choice you make. Comment free if this resonates with you. Frequency maintenance. They feel the pull of heavy atmospheres around them, as if every conversation and every glance carries a weight they were never meant to bear. In the quiet moments between tasks, they sense a low hum of tension humming beneath the surface of their day, draining energy the moment they step into crowded spaces or scroll through endless headlines. You may recognize that ache in your bones when you brush past someone's bad mood and suddenly feel it seep into your own spirit, or the way a single negative comment can shadow your entire mood for hours. It's easy to believe these waves of low vibration are inevitable, that the world's turbulence will always leave its mark on you. Yet there is a deeper truth waiting to be uncovered. You have the power to tune your inner frequencies so high that negativity simply cannot find a foothold. This theme of maintaining a lofty vibration matters more now than ever, because it holds the key to turning the daily currents of life into a symphony of abundance and peace. Stay with me as we explore how to claim this truth and never look back. They have faced days when their enthusiasm flickered like a candle in wind, snuffed out by one too many moments of criticism or doubt. You may remember waking up with a plan to conquer your goals only to find yourself sinking under the weight of other people's worries, or replaying an unkind remark long after the speaker moved on. Those moments sting not only because they expose raw nerves, but because they trap you in cycles of second-guessing and worry that feel impossible to break. They weigh on your spirit like stones in a backpack, each one a fragment of disappointment, envy, or frustration that you carry into every new encounter. When your own vibration dips, your vision blurs, your creative spark dims, and your confidence falters. In that space, purpose feels distant and true north seems obscured. What if every encounter with negativity was actually a signpost guiding you toward the necessity of a higher inner tone? In Nehemiah 8 verse 10, a passage often overlooked, it is written, "Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Here lies the turning point. Joy is not a luxury reserved for perfect moments, but a source of unstoppable power that transforms your entire experience. Their trials and disappointments have not come to punish them, but to show them how deeply they need to anchor their identity in a vibration beyond the reach of circumstance. By choosing to dwell in the joy that springs from a divine source, they align themselves with a current so strong it sweeps them forward even when the world seems to be pushing back. This realization reframes every struggle as a step toward learning how to cultivate joy as an unassailable fortress. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen," to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you to all our supporting members who fuel this mission. 4 full prophetic revelations daily. Join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into full light. And if this message moved you deeply, consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Stay untouchable, Chosen One.